You're listening to the Los Rotos podcast with Vanessa Scaduto.
Vanessa Scaduto.
Produced by Upside Down Creative Media.
Upside Down Creative Media.
Hey guys, welcome back to Los Rotos Dojo. I forgot to put on my headphones already.
Get them cans on.
we're still getting the swing of things, but we have a fan favorite today. We have CJ Couch back with us. What's up?
Hey everybody. Hey, thanks for having me. This place is awesome.
Oh God, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Marshall put a lot of work into this.
Yeah, it looks great in here. Feels good. It's awesome.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
How you been though?
I've been really good. Obviously I just got engaged. So, yeah.
Ooh, we need a button.
Yeah.
Where you hear the
Been
clapping,
being engaged stuff. I
does that
joined the
entail?
Y.
Oh, you joined the Y.
That entails being engaged is joining the Y. Yeah.
Now you guys are
Yeah.
a family.
Now we got a YMCA membership. It comes with your engagement. But yeah, I mean, I haven't gone that many times, but I've gone.
You gone?
Yeah, I've been.
Do you go to like the sauna? Is that
So this is weird to me. Would love to go to the sauna. I grew up like my parents built like a Bilton and there was a sauna in that, and it was like my favorite part of the house. I love saunas so much. But the fact that it's divided between sexes now, it's like in the male locker room and the women's
Right,
locker room. I don't know if it's always been like that. I don't know. I've never been in a single sex one. It just, not because I want to be around girls and their thing. It's more so just gives me creepy vibes.
Oh yeah, well yeah, because there's plenty of stories where
Right. It's
where
like
gay men are doing.
Yeah, I don't want to have to say, please, no, I don't want my dick sucked
Or
right
like,
now.
hey man, I literally just wanted to sweat my taint out and be left alone.
I just
dude.
did 10 minutes of this stair stepper, dude.
Yeah,
Get away from me.
yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, no, your Europeans are very
It's a weird thought to have, though,
comfortable.
to not
Yeah.
want to do a sauna out of fear of possibly having a person ask you
Well,
to suck their dick.
well as
It's
a
kind of
woman.
ridiculous to say it out loud when I think
No,
about it.
but as a woman, we I think women would totally understand what you're talking about,
Good,
dude.
good.
Like we
Good.
are always concerned about being raped and accosted. Like
Seems stressful.
it's definitely stressful. I don't know if that was your mic, Marshall, but we could hear the movement. Okay. I wasn't sure. But yeah, no. I mean, I started a joke kind of talking about that because I realized there is a phenomenon that with certain things that women deal with that we don't necessarily talk to each other about, but you know, it's just funny that it occurs, you know.
Such as?
Being like, you know, people talk about getting solicited dick pics. What about the unsolicited show your dick in person dick? You know, like,
Ooh.
because this does happen to a lot of women, and
It's a crazy thing. I don't understand it.
yeah, and I do,
The basis in it.
and I do in some creepy ways sympathize with some of these guys only because
Explain, because I
think
sincerely don't understand
this
the
happened to
rush.
me in my mostly my early 20s, you know, and one time in my 30s.
How many times has it happened to you in your life?
At least 3 times that if I want to think about it, like I can probably think harder, and I've probably seen more,
But just like
Unsolicited
right now,
dick.
3. Yeah.
but also sometimes too, I don't think,
Not even people you know dicks,
But-
though. These are random.
no, these are people I know.
Oh, wow.
Some of them are people I know. So I think there was like alcohol involved and, you know, other things, but I never felt unsafe. Like
Dicks are scary.
I would just say no, like put that away,
Mhm.
you know, like I obviously I'm firm and I'm,
Put that away.
yeah, dude, like, nah,
Yeah.
like,
Hey,
what are you
come on.
doing? Come on, dude, you know?
Sock it.
But also like in that moment, you know, I know someone would be like, oh, F that. I'd get upset. I get angry. And rightfully so. You have a right. But there's also a part of me that's like also thinking about my safety. Like how.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
So
yeah.
you're trying to stay assertive and firm, but trying to get the fuck out of there with your life in your hands. And, you know, so.
For the most part, when you're like going to hook up with a girl,
Mhm.
you should get it. Like it shouldn't be like questionable, you know? So like the guy who's just like whipping his dick out.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing.
That's like a crazy basis to start from. So then to like start yelling at and accosting that person when they've just felt completely like put down and stuff. I'm not saying you shouldn't
right.
be able to do it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'm saying very scary situation to put yourself in
Yeah.
amongst a clear, dangerous individual.
Yeah, and I'm an older broad now too, so it's like, yo, I could have osteoporosis right now. Like I get one hit from a grown man. That's it, dude.
That's brutal.
You know,
It's very scary.
and let's talk about the health insurance costs. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? There's so many other things involved
Stuck with
and
the bill.
factors, but it's not to say that women shouldn't stand up for themselves and shouldn't speak up.
For
But I
sure.
guess the joke is to say is like, hey, this to the men who don't do this goes on more with men than you realize. And I think that's what happens in a group where the guys are kind of shocked. But I do include them when I do the joke where I'm like, hey, if it happened to you, please raise your hand. Some men do raise their hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, where
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
and I do it. And they're obviously, I'm not talking about those random skinny dips you did with all your friends or nothing. I'm talking about single individual situations where you were by yourself and it could have turned bad. You know
Fuck
what I
yeah.
mean? And it
Yeah.
didn't. But
I think everybody has like a moment they can think of in their life where they were like, I was very close to a person that if like things just went a little bit different, I might have died.
well, and luckily the person who I thought they were turned out to be who they were. They weren't like, I mean, they're a troubled person, obviously, for just whipping out the thing, but not an aggressive and an assaulting person. Not like, obviously, some people would argue that's a sexual assault in a way.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just saying
Definitively so, yeah.
yeah, I guess as a person who has been assaulted more violently, that to me is the minimal, you know, like, you know, and
best
I'm not
case scenario.
best case scenario. And I'm not saying you have to have the same barometer. You can have whatever barometer you want to have with all that stuff. But anyway, this is not even what I want to talk about.
This is all I wanted to talk about. That's so funny. I have so
Not
much more to
beef
say.
organs, dude. You don't want to talk about the beef organs.
I like that the beef organs are simply just a pill you pop. Nothing to chew on, nothing to,
No.
dissolve.
So yeah, so this is actually really great. And this is not an endorsement because they're not sponsored. It's just funny.
Actually, no, let's go with it. They're sponsoring us.
Yeah.
Okay,
Our first episode, they're totally sponsoring us.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, Thank you for sponsoring us.
What's the company's name?
It's Ancestral Supplements, and this is
You said ancestral, right? I'm not trying to get us like not sponsored, but I thought you said ancestral.
No,
And I was like,
ancestral.
okay, this is crazy.
No, ancestral.
But yeah, I like it. Okay, so ancestral grass-fed beef organs.
Yes.
They're good for you. Explain the benefits that you've been receiving as a woman with osteoporosis.
I'm beginning stages, okay?
Yeah.
I'm premenopausal right now, guys, okay?
Nice.
Just premenopausal.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also anemic though. So I have genetic anemia. So I have a specific genetic anemia that I absorb iron really well, but I can't take an iron supplement directly, but I can indirectly eat meats that have like iron in it or greens. But I was told by doctors, like, you don't want to eat red meat. But unfortunately, that's where most of the iron is in. And
Why don't you want to eat red meat?
well, because of the other stuff that can come with it, cholesterol, extra fats that, it's, and I don't even know if I believe any of this stuff anymore because
Does that suck?
the studies could have been endorsed by somebody.
There's
that
like
I
no
didn't
more
love.
basis in
But I mean,
anything it feels like anymore.
I mean, heavy than when you eat fish, like
I love fish.
yeah, your body's processing it different. We can say that, right?
Mm.
But does that stop me from having a steak once
I mean,
in a
come on,
while?
steak
No.
is so good.
But this helps me not have to feel the urge to have one because my body's telling me to have red meat because it needs the iron, it needs the nutrients. But back in the day when we were hunters and actually out in the wilderness, we'd eat the whole animal, not just a part of the animal. Yeah. And so what this company does, and they have different kinds of other stuff. So
Specific
you can get
organs.
You can get like beef liver, beef pancreas, beef you can be very. They even do blood. It's pretty intense, some of the stuff. So there's been studies, I guess, that show that certain parts of the animal.
Have you seen the product of the blood?
No, I don't.
I'd like to see that.
No, I don't. I mean, no.
It might just be another capsule for all we
I mean,
know.
it is a capsule, but I don't know. It's darker. I think it's a darker color because they do something where I think they take the plasma and then
it's definitely not just.
They have to dry the plasma out.
Yeah.
It's so, I don't know, dude. Anyway, it's wild, but you can basically, I don't know, my audio and my headphones changed, Marshall, just so you know.
so
Okay,
good,
perfect.
so
I'm
good, so
sorry.
good.
I didn't think something was falling out. Besides my hearing, because I am getting
Yeah,
old.
I am losing sight. Not dangerously so, but noticeably.
Really?
Her friend left a pair of what I thought were sunglasses in the car, and they were like in her glove compartment. It was like these like girly sunglasses, right? And I put them on, and it was like going from like a box TV to an HD TV in 2007 for the first time. Right? Being like, what the fuck? And seeing everything super clear. And it like really fucked me up because I didn't realize I wasn't seeing so good. You know, I can see everything, but I mean like from a distance, being able to like read that sign, I have to be closer than I used to be.
I should give you some of these. I'm not kidding because like it helps.
I'll buy some. I support.
It helps with like certain things, like so it helps autoimmune stuff. So because you're getting the nutrients, extra stuff that you need, you know, our bodies don't even digest some of the multivitamins we take, all of it, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, me being anemic and all that stuff, I took it. I actually felt better, slept better. The only thing I will tell you is my piss smelled horrible. My urine was absolutely horrible. I was like, oh, this is what it smells like after, you know, you're in a gym and you go after somebody else in the stall and you're like, oh my God, that guy's drinking so much creatine or whatever he's doing, or protein.
Yeah.
You can smell it. That's what it is. So you do need to drink some water.
What about the color?
It gets a little mustardy.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not drinking enough water. Yeah, you got to drink the water.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, drink the water. Yes, drink water.
Drink water with it, yeah, for sure.
Drink the water.
Drink the water. Hydration
is always key, but like for somebody like me,
water drinking's a big deal.
Yeah, I've been told.
Probably number one.
Yeah, in the last couple of years, I feel like I've been like a perpetually dehydrated.
See, when Brooke and I will get like a case of water bottles, we will crush a 32 pack in legitimately like 3-4 days.
That's awesome. You guys must drink a lot of water.
Yeah. And I noticed that just like something about keeping a bottle, because we also have like, my dad gets like a shitload of Zephyr Hills 5-gallon things.
Oh, yeah.
And like he'll take them to the store. He has so many. And they just keep chopping them off and he just gets more and more. And they're just like stockpiling. So he gives them to me. And I noticed that for me at least, when I have a bottle to drink out of, I can drink an insane amount of water. I don't know what it is, but if I have 100%. A glass, I'm not getting into it.
100%. I also think it depends on the bottle's circumference too. Like some bottles are easier. Like I like the core bottles because they have a wider mouth.
Core bottles are cool.
Yeah, and the airflow to ratio to water flow is like a perfect. So you can get a real good gulp without extra air in there.
Yeah. Crucial.
Yeah,
rehydration.
But it's not as big as a cup.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like one of these weird in between. Like those. Do you remember Snapple?
Yeah.
Snapples had like
Snapples have a great
ratio.
size hole, if you will.
Yeah.
Good mouthpiece.
Size.
Yeah. Good little mouth hole. It's nice.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. I've never thought about that before, but probably out of everything that I can think of off the top of my head right now,
right,
Snapple probably does have the best.
It does.
Sized drink hole.
You know what else does? And my Latin people will understand this. The Goya juice bottles too, the tall ones.
Yes,
they have a good
made
one.
of cardboard box ones, right?
Well, no, those are back in the day. They used to be glass.
Okay.
So they have the cardboard box ones, but I think that was more like a concentrate. But the ones that would come in the glass ones and they were tall, they had a similar size as the core, but it was a glass tall bottle. So yeah, the Goya juice ones. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't even matter. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, just drink water, guys.
Yeah, water rules. It's good for you. Highly suggest it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, it's kind of crazy. Like I think we're running out of drinking water, right?
Seem to be. You know, I'm not saying we're not. It seems that that's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't know, man. I'm kind of like, I don't even know about bottled water anymore either. You know what I mean? Like,
I just feel like a hack human being at this point for saying this, but like we can't take the salt water and make it drinking water.
We can. We can desalinate it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't. Well, there's some countries. I think there's the country.
If we are running out of water, I don't want to do that right now. I like the way water is.
There is a country. It starts with an M, and I don't think it's Morocco, but it's a country with an M, and they do that. They desalinate their water. That's
Okay.
their filter system. Like, so they take seawater and drink it. It's their drinking. I think it's an island, so maybe it's not Morocco. Morocco's not an island.
I think they're by water. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm a dumb American, so I don't.
Is Morocco a country?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that for sure. I know
For
that
sure?
for sure.
Okay. Over by
Wait,
Spain?
am I wrong?
I don't know.
No, I'm like, yeah,
Morocco just, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Morocco is a country because
I'm willing
people
to be
say
wrong.
I'm Moroccan,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I know Moroccan people.
Yeah.
Oh my god, now I sound like really
It might be
dumb.
Morocco, Spain. I could so be wrong. Like I would almost bet money that I'm wrong.
No, because Morocco is not.
But we're giving life to this. We got the iPad out. Morocco is definitely
yeah, it's
a country. Yeah.
It's a country in North
Yeah,
Africa.
Yeah. Is it by Spain?
No, not really. I mean,
You're welcome,
yeah,
people.
it's by. I mean, it is. It's across, but it's like across the river by Gibraltar.
Exactly.
Gibraltar is close.
At one point, you know, we all remember what I was talking about when the Spaniards took over Morocco that time. 15.
Because I was gonna say,
90s.
I'm pretty sure Moroccans are like French and Arabic usually. That is their background. But they speak so many languages. Like they have really like they're very well versed in like multiple languages and stuff.
Big trade hub, big spot right there
Yep.
in human history. It's a good spot
The
to come in
Bridge
and out
of
of.
Gibraltar.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Gibraltar's a cool word.
Dude, okay, so last time we had you on, you told us about your background. I mean, that was what, 2 years ago now, right?
Yeah.
Do you got anything new going on? I know there's a lot of things going on new with everybody besides getting married, but I mean anything comedy wise, anything in the works?
I mean, I'm doing more shows, but
Just-
you know what I mean?
I'm just doing more shows.
Nice. Thank you. So you get it.
Morocco.
The Relatables also went to Mandarin High, so they also think that Morocco is in Spain.
Listen,
They were in smart kid
it was
classes, I
Dean
think.
who forgot that he lived in Mandarin. There was a lot of Jewish people who lived
I like
there.
still know
so-
where Dean's house is. I could get
Yeah, but
there.
I know, but he forgot that there was like
Oh yeah.
all these synagogues and stuff.
Well, it's more so like there's like the river that runs along Julington Creek Road by like where they grew up is less Jewish than the river that runs along like Mandarin Road and Scott Mill Road because that synagogue is right across the street from my family's wallpaper store. So like
I was about to say a joke, but it's I
you
don't know.
They have to walk and stuff on Saturdays, so it's very convenient.
Oh no, I know. I was thinking of
It's
but
exactly where I grew up.
so you're used. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I was like. I think it was me and
In a way,
Zach
I
were
almost
making fun of
didn't
him
know
about
Jewish
it.
people like weren't everywhere.
Exactly. I mean,
I
grew
thought
up,
that was like a thing.
yeah, I grew up in New York City. You
Yeah.
know, we have a lot of those Hasidic Jews. So like,
Yeah.
so you know exactly how they handle the Sabbath and everything else,
Mhm.
and so I don't know. I was like, you can't ignore them. You see them wearing dresses, and they're
It is wild to see, like, because, like I said, I grew up right there. My family's wallpaper store is across the street from a synagogue. And, like, I used to podcast out of there. And to see over the years, like, the different unfortunate times where, like, the world's going crazy and they have to, like, start parking cops outside and stuff. And, like, it's crazy.
yeah,
That's so fucking scary
I think it's
and nuts.
yeah. I mean, well,
That sucks, dude.
up in New York though, some of those synagogues they have their own security.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like they're packing.
That's got to
and
be such a, like,
You got to remember, some of these people are from the IDF. Like they came from
just the whole,
Israel.
you know, violent religious stuff. It's just like fucking crazy, dude.
It's all crazy. I just want everybody to love each other.
It's just such a weird.
Plus,
We're still doing that, huh?
But the thing is, I have a belief where I believe all everybody's, and obviously everybody can disagree with me. That's fine. I don't care. But this is my weird, wacky belief, whatever you want to call it. That each religion is from the same divine source. So like everybody's praying to the same thing.
For
so
sure.
it really doesn't matter what you're praying. You're gonna get there how you want to get there, whatever system you want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think the craziest.
so just let people be, dude.
yeah,
Like,
the craziest part about the three major religions all having their inner beef is quite literally what you're saying. Is like, I'm pretty sure they're like, agreed that it's the same God, but it's like the prophets that they're all.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's
I'm pretty
like,
sure. I don't know this for sure.
and that's
I'm
the
gonna be
thing.
wrong again.
That's
but
the
I think
thing.
Jesus was like dope in the Quran.
No, that's the
At
thing.
some point, there's like a
It's-
chapter where Jesus is dope in there.
No, you're 100% right. It's the administration of the book. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. It's like who put what where and which book we decided to keep in this canon and which one we like. So it's like, but at the end of the day, everybody agrees we come from some divine source that is probably all loving, all knowing.
Something.
You know,
I
something,
don't know.
right? But not in the same sense that we think of a human love. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's
it's
where
definitely
I
beyond
think.
a human.
Yeah,
thing.
I think that's what people don't understand is like.
Well, that's what turns people off about religion to begin with. Is like, if you can like feel you have like a connection with God, whatever that means to you, you can feel that. But then like, to take it into like becoming a religious person, it stops a lot of people once like you start going, well, this feels like a human thought of this.
Yeah, not.
This
not
is like
some
base
omnipresent-
level.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
shit of like, you have to do this and you can do all these other things, but unless you do this, it doesn't, like, you can't go to where you want to go.
Yeah.
So therefore, like, people that do all these very bad things, they can just do this thing and they're in. But you, because you're not doing this one thing, doesn't matter how good you are, you're not getting in. And it's like, that seems not like a God thought. That seems
Yeah, 'cause
pretty
it's-
base level.
It is. It's
Yeah.
it's definitely a human thought. And honestly, like in my belief too, is like I believe that we choose to come back. I believe we choose to learn things. I believe like we will keep coming back if we want to keep getting closer, I guess, to the divine, I guess, Like we are a divine being having a human experience, And so at least that's my belief. And I think that everybody has an opportunity to grow, and it may not even be this lifetime. You know what I mean? So you just go like, I guess that's why it's easy for me to just like move forward. I don't try to hold on to things from maybe if somebody hurt me or did some transgression, whatever. I just go, you know what? Good luck to you.
There's nothing you can do.
Well, yeah, it's why dwell on it kind of
Yeah.
thing, because that will eat you alive. And resentment. Now, that's not to say not to set boundaries and not to like clear people like that out of your space, of course, but to dwell on it or to create additional chaos or become revengeful or whatever it is that is very base level, I think, for humans, very animalistic, a competitive nature, not a divine nature, right? So it's like I'm trying to move away from that. So I just go, oh, you want to do that? I don't want to do that. So good luck to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I may run around like in circles around people who are like, meaning like what we do in comedy. Like there's people like that in the comedy world, I may be cordial, whatever, but I look at it like we're in a job together. So there's no reason I don't want problems.
It's a,
You have your own thing and I do my own thing. I want to live my life
it's
a certain
completely
way.
unnecessary.
You want to live yours a certain way. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like no problem.
There's no
Good luck
point
to
to
you.
try to change it.
Yeah. Good luck to you. Honestly, I don't even care if you hate me. Good luck to you.
It doesn't make any sense to. I don't know. I understand, like, people want to have friends, all that,
Oh yeah, but
but you know what I mean. Like,
It
it's
gets-
just
shit
like, what are
gets-
we doing
shit
here?
gets clicky too, though. It gets weird.
Yeah.
And then you go,
That's everything.
yeah, that's everything, right?
Anytime a group of people gets together in anything, that like people start gravitating towards each other. It's just
It's really, yeah. I
Just
think
what
the
it is.
best bet is just, do what you love to do. Just be mindful, of like, of your energy, who you're giving that to and stuff. And I don't know, man. But yeah, so anyways, what were we talking about that we went down this route? I don't know. We always do this,
I
dude.
don't know.
I don't know. I mean, have you had, I know we talked about some of your paranormal experiences last time. I don't know if you want to refresh the audience. I mean, the one that I find, like your old house that you lived in was pretty.
Yeah, the old house I grew up in was like basically haunted. Like, I don't know how else to say it. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like I don't know. It wasn't. Sometimes it felt scary, but
Yeah.
not all the time. But just shit would happen. My friends would be like scared to. Before I wouldn't even tell them. You know what I mean? It's not like another friend was like, "Dude, you're sleeping at CJ's house tonight. You're gonna fucking."
Yeah.
They just would like come to my house, and like we had a guest bedroom. They would go to that guest bedroom, and then like, under an hour later,
But it was only that guest
they
bedroom,
knock on
right?
my door. Not only,
Well, oh, you mentioned that's right. Your
but
kitchen
that was
had some stuff.
just
right.
like in general, that guest bedroom seemed to be the creepiest place in the house.
like where it probably
Where
hung
the
out.
most things happened. Where like the most proof we had of like, we didn't have shag carpet by any means, but we had carpet that like you could not open the door all the way. Like you would have to do that,
Mhm.
you know? And a dog, I'm not saying a dog couldn't, but a dog would have had to like stopped and pushed and
Push.
stopped and pushed.
Right,
you know?
right,
It
right.
was,
Some force.
and like all the time, that door would be wide open and like a light would be on or something.
Was that room original? Like, was that
Part of the house.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
original, but the rest was renovated.
Yeah, and none of that was touched.
Oh, I don't think I asked you that last time because I didn't know that.
I mean, it was haunted well before the renovations.
Well, of
Yeah,
course, but I'm saying like that's probably why it stayed in that room because it was the last of the.
Well, no, it
House.
wasn't the last by any means. I mean, the rest of the house, 99% of the house, my parents took their bedroom, or took what was my bedroom when my grandparents were living in the house, and it's like a room like this big, right? So if this is the back wall, they cut this wall out and then extended outward,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then like basically made an L out of it. So they just made they made the room bigger. They added like an office, bedroom, bathroom thing, and then they built like a outdoor kitchen, if you will.
Right.
So we had a huge backyard because it was us and the grandparents.
So like an
living on-
ensuite, kind of like a little.
It was like a
apartment kind of thing.
yeah. It was definitely. I mean, it was part of the house.
Right, but you
But
could
have definitely, you know,
Yeah,
done that.
I think they sometimes call that like what do they call that?
if there wasn't
In-law suites. In-law suites.
if there wasn't already a literal mother-in-law suite in the backyard that we
Right.
built,
Right.
then that would have sort of been like one that was connected to the house.
That's still cool though.
Yeah, that's literally like they found a house on Scott Mill Road in like the 2000s. I remember I was going to baseball practice and like I grew up like right behind Beauclair Elementary, off of like Bay Meadows and Craven down Briarwood, like the small Briarwood, not the bigger one. So the one literally right behind Beauclair. So I grew up and I would go down Bay Meadows, down San Jose, and up Beauclair, down Scott Mill to Mandarin Road to Brady Road to like go to MSA every day. So we're driving down this road like every day, and I guess they were talking about buying a house. I don't know. But I remember we saw the house that we ended up buying, and it was like $220,000.
Right.
And it was 2 acres,
Right.
and it was an insane.
Probably worth like $1 million now, close to.
I have no idea, but it's insane, the deal. It was an
Right.
insane. I remember being young and being like, this doesn't seem to make sense. It was on 2 acres. It didn't have the mother-in-law suite yet. So from my understanding, my mom and dad and grandparents got the house. My mom's parents.
Did you walk through it with them first, like, or did
don't
you?
remember.
You don't remember.
Uh-uh. I remember, I'm pretty sure either my dad or my mom calling my dad or my mom, whoever I wasn't with,
Right.
got a call that like from the person I was with, and was like, I just found an insane house. And we
Right.
drove by it every day, so like we knew when it got listed. And also, I remember the house on Craven. So my dad and mom have always taken much pride in their house, and like trying to keep it look awesome,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So now they're gonna like put the house that they first got before I was born and put it up, you know. And what's crazy about that house is when they bought it, there like was not even a tree in the front yard, and like I grew up like climbing in that tree, and like
Right.
it's so crazy.
Right.
So they go to sell that house, and like my dad starts, you know, doing the lawn and pressure washing and doing all the shit. And my grandpa, who lived a mile away, the one that moves in, takes me to go see The Matrix 2.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
All
So I
right.
go see The Matrix 2 in theater, and I come back and like the house was sold. He sold that house in like
2
fucking
seconds.
under 12 hours. I swear to God. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel though, leaving that house? Was it kind of a bittersweet, like?
Honestly, the only thing that sucked about it was I had like so many friends,
Mm-hmm.
and now I was switching like
Oh yeah.
where I was going to middle school.
Right.
So when I started middle school,
And did you have a kind of childhood where you go out after school and hang out with
we
your friends?
we played outside.
And, yeah.
Like I walked to and from
See-
school with my cul-de-sac
yeah,
friends
that's
every
really
day.
cool. That's cool because
I remember cussing for the first time.
Yeah.
I remember like the first time taking a banana peel, eating a banana, like walking to school and throwing it over there, and then watching over the next few days as this thing decomposes. I remember kicking mushrooms
Right.
and your shoes smelling bad.
Yeah.
Did anyone do that? That's like a pretty walk to school thing.
We would throw cow patties at each other.
We didn't
and
do the cow
shit.
patties.
Yeah.
We had no cows.
Well, that's because we moved
Yeah,
around
yeah,
so much,
yeah.
but we were looking for shrooms. But we.
I've never done that.
Oh,
I remember like my
it's kind
friends
of
doing it. I
dangerous,
just never,
so we would do it at night because it's somebody's farm. It's not our farm.
Yeah.
And then there was bulls. Sometimes they let the bulls loose because they knew we were doing it.
Yeah.
So they knew the bulls would attack us, which they would. But this bull, it was one bull. It wasn't bulls, but one bull that was like mean.
It's coming for you. Better
But
fucking
that's
pay
okay.
attention.
We still found a few. We still got away.
Yeah.
It's just running, and then
So you take these shrooms. They're in the poopies.
this is
pull
when I
them.
was in high school.
I'm with it.
Yeah,
I don't understand the process. I know,
you can eat them raw. You can dry them.
but like
or you could put them in tea.
they're in the
And
poopies.
steep them. Yeah. I mean,
So there's like cleaning it.
you can clean them.
You
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, it's not like
It's not like a normal thing to do though.
the cow poop doesn't really harm you. I mean, obviously, if it's layered in the shit, you want to let it dry out probably. And you could, if you're not. But yeah, I would wash them.
Yeah.
But I would be careful with
Because now it seems like
the
now you could be fucking
the
up.
heads. Wash what you like. Take what you can.
If you have to eat some shit, you have to eat
Yeah.
some shit. I guess.
But like when you take them out, you don't necessarily have the shit. You could.
You're plucking
it depends
it?
how. It depends how big they are.
Mm.
Yeah, it depends how big they are.
Okay,
you
so
know?
sometimes you sacrifice a little bit of stem
Yes.
in order to not
Yeah. You're
have
not.
to clean the
You got to be
poopy.
careful with the head. You don't want that to be washed.
So the head's
Yeah, heads.
the important part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I don't. That's all I know. I don't know much. I mean, I was just told grab them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we do.
We never kicked psychedelic mushrooms, but
Mm-hmm.
just like the mushrooms that grew in people's yard.
Yeah, but those are found. I mean, you could. It
I'm pretty
depends.
sure if you eat them, you're fucked.
Yeah, it depends what they are. Yeah,
But
you
we
could
would.
die.
Those white ones.
Yeah, don't
big.
kids don't eat mushrooms like that.
Definitely.
You don't know what you're doing.
It's an insane
Don't
thing to
do
do.
that. Don't do that.
But yeah, I remember kicking the fuck out of mushrooms on my
Yeah.
way home. And then like your shoes were now covered in mushroom. And it would get all in your like strings, your shoes
Yeah.
strings, and like smell so fucking bad. Remember one of my friends was just like the most gross kid in the neighborhood, and he always smelled like
Yeah.
smelly
I
mushroom.
think there's always that one kid that always.
He's always
was
the grossest
like,
kid.
Yeah, the grossest.
This kid also would like, we had a very we were in a cul-de-sac, like every single house basically, other than
Right.
one that was like being rented, so that switched people like every year,
Right.
was families that we all were growing up together.
Right.
So like this kid now, like very clear, he had some like high level of ADHD, whatever you want to call that.
Yeah, right.
I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna.
A
but
very
this-
active
yeah,
kid. Active
this
kid.
This kid's dad was like the mean dad, and we
Right,
were
right,
like,
right.
you know, we slept at his house. It's like we cannot have his dad get mad at us. It's very scary, you know. And there would be times where like his dad would be chasing him like around the house. Like we're all outside playing. He gets home, finds out whatever shitty thing the kid did earlier to his little brother, and now like the dad is chasing this kid like on foot in the neighborhood. It goes from like him playing with us to him seeing his dad and like instantly starts running, you know. And it's like, this is fucking nuts. So we still grew up in a good time.
It's so funny because like it was true. Like when I grew up in the 80s, I mean, some of the parents even fist fought in the streets. Like they'd fight each other and no cops were called.
Definitely not.
You know, like they were just like, fuck you. You know, like they
Yeah.
just had it out with each other until it became like legality issues, like property lines or this or that. Like I think my dad.
Property line thing is the funniest thing of all time, to see two dudes like on their property lines like, you cross, no you cross, no you cross.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
alright.
and in New York, like where we lived, and we moved to Long Island, and my dad had a property that he that was mid renovation. He bought it. Somebody didn't finish it, but my dad could, so
Yeah.
he did. And it was by the beach, which is like now the house is probably worth millions.
Yeah.
But the neighbors, they had huge property. Like they had the house, and then they had like an extra, I don't know, 3,000, 4,000 square foot lot. And then next to that was a
Jesus.
restaurant.